Let me just check the gate, as the kids say in the streets. We are live. That looks good. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Jedi Academy. I'm just getting everything set up for everyone here. Let me just get this squared away. And then let's get the YouTubes up and running. And then we will be good to go. Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's having a fine Saturday morning. It is raining cats and dogs here. Crazy. It's very moist outside right now. I know I shouldn't say that because McVenom probably somewhere just sneezed. But it is what it is. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Jedi Academy, the longest running live Q&A stream for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes out there. What episode are we on? 339. 339 of these. I must have brain damage. But it's a simple setup and stream. We are here to answer your questions about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the mobile game brought to you by Capital Games. I am, of course, your host, Ranger J 1999, and this is pretty simple. We're here to hang out for the next couple hours, and any questions you have, feel free to pop those in the chat. However, I ask for your help on that. Make sure you put the word question in front of your actual question, comment, and or statement that you want me to respond to, and I will be more than glad to give you the best answer that I can, or whoever else joins me on the panel. I leave the Zoom call open. I tag all the content creators. Any that want to join can. Sometimes we have a lot of content creators. Sometimes we have a few, depending on the week and what's going on and yada, yada, yada. So we'll see what happens. So just direct your questions that way. Follow that format. Also, if you like this kind of content and stuff that we're putting out, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe over on YouTube. And good morning, YouTube. And good morning, Twitch. And on Twitch, you can do all the fun stuff. You've got the SE alerts, things, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, get your questions in. Also, give your greetings. Say hi to me. Say hi to all the other skewers, and we'll take it from there. Had a lot of fun yesterday. We did our stream, did GAC, then we went over with Scribe, Princess Scribbles, and had a lot of fun there with you guys. Ended up doing some more shoeies, as is tradition. But we had a lot of fun. Desi joined us. We had a lot of goofy times and fun times. And is what we do on a Friday. If you haven't joined us on a Friday, I think you should. It's a lot of fun. We just have a goofy time doing it. And so there you go. Outside of that, Saturday morning here in the U.S., but wherever you are in the world, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, maybe it's Sunday. Hell, I don't know. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whoever you may be doing. So grab something to drink, grab some snackies, whatever you need to do, feel free, and let's get into that. And also give you greetings. This is an interactive stream, and so I do like to shout out everybody and say thank you, good morning, whatever, for being here. You could be watching anything else, but you're watching this. We did do our JZ last night. We did win. Opponent attacked. We did the one-shot full clear, and there you go. Good morning, Widow 73. Yes, good morning, sunshine. The world says hello. Glad to have you here, my friend. As is. Outside of that, just going through the final stages of Conquest. I got some cleanup on all 5 to do, and then did have Red Crate today. Once I do all these, finish these final feats. Get a lot more Datacron materials, stuff like that, and then Datacrons, man, they're so ridiculous. Oh goodness! If you didn't see Scribe's stream last night, we were hanging out waiting for him to scoop me and Desi up while we're waiting. He was just getting his you know what handed to you know where with some of these Datacrons. They're pretty vicious. So there you go. But good morning, What Else 73. Anybody else out there, give your greeting and stuff. So yeah, no D&D today, and then I'll be back Monday for the normal routine cycle of streams for you guys and gals. So glad to have you here. Outside of that, we got the new Morgan Elsbeth this week. I got her to 6 stars as I always do. I'll have her ready to go for the next round of GAC. But you know, I'm just on the path to having these characters ready for their events, so every time they come out, we'll go for them, yada yada yada. Morgan Elsbeth right now is 6 stars. She's halfway to 7. I'll get some more today, and then by Tuesday we'll unlock her. I'll take her to Relic 5, and she'll sit there at Relic 5. I usually just take the characters Relic 5. I'm not going to go in heavy investment. I like to hoard a little bit and then just do the big push so I can make sure I have everything I need. And then we'll get all these characters for both Balin and for Ashoka Tano. So yes, Mary J. Look who he says. Look who it is. Well, look who it is. My name is James. I'm totally not gay. Team Rocket will blast off and win the day. Yes. G-Dub Gaming. Hello, my friend says, hoo Ranger and Pelts Gears. That's right. Good morning, G-Dub Gaming. Glad to have you here for the Jedi Academy. Right. That's right, Mary J. That's right, Meowth. James. I might create one of those. I got to go back and I want to create some new sound alerts, so I'll make that one there, James. For James. For you, Mary J. All right. So good morning to everybody. Glad to have you here. You're giving your greetings. And get your questions in. This is how it works. And it's low-key cracks me up because James is in here from time to time. That's true. But that's James, our fine Irish boy. Our fine Irish lad representing the Skewer Nation with them two beautiful babies over there in Ireland. He's a fine fellow, he is. I haven't seen James in a bit, man. Hope everything's okay. I miss James. But you know, real life, new babies, you know how it is. Work, wifey, kids, you know, so yeah. Jason Hobby's finally making an appearance over on YouTube as his tradition. Says, happy Saturday, Ranger. Word to the mothership. Word indeed, Home Slice. Glad to have you here. So yes, everyone's waking up. We're drinking coffee. We're doing it. We're eating some protein. We're eating some eggs, that kind of stuff. Good. Ah, goodness. But yeah, it is crappy outside. I mean, it is pouring rain here right now. So I was like, okay. Yeah, no spoilers, but yeah, I've seen the season of The Boys. Really like it. But yes. Oh yes, I'm looking forward to The Boys. And that should be the final season, but that's really good. But I remember I love the comic, so I mean, I thought the comic was phenomenal too. Very different, same in a lot of regards, but different story plots and the way things play out. And but I think they're both new. Leslie needs to take notes from Leslie Headland needs to take from all the shows. That woman is insane, man. I read some of her comments and stuff that she was talking about certain aspects and things about the show and things of that nature, and just there's just no humility with that woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect Leslie Headland because she tried to do Star Wars. You know, and I respect that. What I don't respect is a lack of humility to, you know, usually when you do something, the famous directors are like this. They put out phenomenal stuff and they think, I could have done better. Leslie's like, no, this is the best thing ever. It's like, well, what do you mean? You know, oh, hold on, I have to hang someone. Hang them! They have been hung. Yes, there's right in the world. X-Men 97 got an Emmy nomination. Oh, hell yeah, it should have. I mean, that thing is phenomenal. Oh my god, X-Men 97 is ridiculously good. That's really cool that it got a nomination. It's well deserved. I don't know if it'll win, but I don't know what it's going up against, but that's pretty amazing. I just been listening to some of the other YouTubers that I, you know, that cover this stuff more, that will go and read this stuff, and I'll listen to what they're saying, and I'm just looking at these articles at the same time that they're covering, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? What in the hell is wrong with you, Leslie Headland? Good God in heaven. You get the best fans if you click on the link. Well, I don't really want to. Just don't. But yeah. It's wild, man. Some of the shit coming. The best lightsaber fight, better than episode 1 and The Matrix. Leslie, you're on crack. You're on crack. Seriously, is this some wild stuff? There will not be a season 2 of this show. You just there will not be. So it's unfortunate that the show is the way that it is. As I've said, I reviewed it. It's trash. It's garbage. There are moments, and of course, there's always moments in any show. It's not just completely like it's unwatchable. There are moments, and I will say the fight scenes are really good. They're not episode 1 good or The Matrix good, but they're really good, and I think they did a good job at that. No, I do like Revenge of the Sith fights a little bit more, but I mean, yeah, but come on, man, that music, God. But yeah, I mean, comparing your stuff to the stuff when you're just getting your show is just a disaster, you know, I respect someone that does something like that and when it doesn't go well, takes ownership and responsibility and says, this is what I went for. It didn't work. I'm sorry to the fans. I really was trying something different. I apologize, but I'll learn from this and I'll try to do better next time. That has never been mouthed by anybody over there on this project. And it's like, come on, man. Little bit of humility, but just a little bit. Maybe I'm just crazy, being the humble, you know. Oh God, John Williams. Oh yeah, John Williams. I mean, go through all the stuff that he's done: Jaws, Indiana Jones, Star Wars. I mean, just go down the line of stuff. And you're just like, that guy's legacy will be forever. So yeah, I'm sure there's a very very tiny amount that want to see season 2. That being said, they're not getting a season 2. Disney's not going to throw another $200 million at a show that lost them tens of millions of dollars. So yeah, we are trash talking the greatest show ever, Linky. Brittany, what's going on? Brittany Parks says, I miss when Star Wars was great. Star Wars will always be great, Brittany. So here's a great thing about Star Wars. There's so much content out there. And whatever is great that really is your favorite Star Wars, no matter what comes out as a show or product from Disney or somebody else, um, doesn't diminish the fact that you have your certain characters and stuff that you love, that makes you happy about Star Wars. Just because the Acolyte is garbage does not mean that Revenge of the Sith has any less value or greatness. Star Wars is always great. Star Wars is always great. The problem is that it's been diminished. So yeah. Kazakage, but it's too easy over YouTube, says I'm here. Yes, Disney would throw money after bad. Man, they might, but it's going to even be worse the second time around. No one's going to watch The Acolyte. Yeah, John Williams' music, G-Dub, is unbelievable. So good. I forget, and people forget he did the Superman theme. He did the Superman movies too. Dun, 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 dun. That is all John Williams. The guy is a goddamn legend with his music. He has written so many scores of movies that you just sit there and go, oh, like you could spend 2 hours just listening to the themes and songs that he came up with for all the movies and just be like, that's unbelievable. The guy is unbelievable. It's one thing to write, and there are a lot of great composers and stuff in the modern times that have written. Paul Shore, of course, look, Lord of the Rings and some other things. He's up there too. But I mean, John Williams is the GOAT. He is the goddamn GOAT. I'd love to have seen John Williams do one of his live orchestral things. Man, are you kidding me? And I can always go back and go to an orchestra and listen to the music done by John Williams. It would have been cool to have been there for an event where John Williams was directing. But he's 90. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I think his first big TV project was Lost in Space in the 60s, and then it just started getting acclaim. Then Jaws hit, and that was a ginormous success. And yeah, it's just unbelievable. Yeah, they are The Apprentice. But yeah, do not let some of these shows, Brittany, diminish you on your love of Star Wars. Star Wars is still great. There's so much great stuff about Star Wars. But yeah, just because the Acolyte's poo-poo doesn't mean It is. Yeah, he's 92. Yeah. Luke McNeesis Ranger. Good morning, brother. Big news out of the old DB this morning. Max crate in the Naboo raid. Let's go. Oh yeah, congratulations, ODB. Nice. Very nice. Congratulations. Good. Good. Killing your death. Very nice. Very nice. So good morning, everybody. Good morning to everybody in the channel. Good morning to everybody on YouTube. Good morning in Twitch. Get your questions in, all that stuff. So yes, Ranger, you and Finn could write a better Star Wars show and movie. Yeah, we could. I don't think it would ever get published because I'd probably choke out Finn. I don't know how much I could stay in a room with him writing, because he's going to bring porgs and Ewoks and Twinkies and stuff in the room and be childlike, and it's going to get on my nerves, and I'm going to do the Homer Simpson, Bart Simpson thing where he's choking around like, I'll teach you to be literate. Jedi Rules says, hey from San Diego. Hello, Lego Man Master. Hello, Jedi Rules. Good morning. Yes, I plan on doing all my GACs on Fridays now so we can have clean Jedi Academies. How did Link? It's Linky. It's Linky. It's fun for a girl and a boy. Says, how did your GAC go? Went very well. We won. We got the one shot full clear for 2066. And they dropped a battle or two. I think they scored 2040 or something. But it went very, very well. We win. Yes. Did the one shot full clear and then waited for to see what my opponent did. They tagged this morning. Had some boo-boos and we win. Yes. He has a good touches on, yes. Force sensitive Ewoks and Tuskens. So actually, there's a Tusken Jedi from the Galactic Republic era, and I cannot ever remember the guy's name. He was a dual wielder. He was a Tusken, and he was a Jedi. So Ewoks, I don't know about, but there was a Tusken, and I always forget this guy's name. I've got the book over there, that has it. But yeah, me and my opponent have split. Oh God. That's a lot of fighting there, Mary J. That's a lot of battles not won and nor dropped and or not scored. Jesus. 474 to 129. Good googly moogly. Sherrod Pet. That's right. I could not think of the name. Thank you, Mary. What else I need to... I always... Like, I'm usually Johnny on the spot on lore names and characters, but this is impressed I remembered about that, Tusken. Linky, you missed the event on Thursday. What was the event on Thursday? Oh, yeah. No, Linky, it was sevens. Again. Again. Yeah. Yeah, I think the Acolyte has given us a little bit of the brain damage, yeah. I'm giving my thoughts on it. The Acolyte's here and gone. If you want to talk about it, ask my thoughts on some things, sure. But I'd like to move past the Acolyte. Next up is Skeleton Crew. I'll look at it. I'm kind of interested. It does have Jude Law and some other kind of actors I respect. Sounds interesting, but I have big red flags right now because of the Acolyte. So, but I will give it its fair shot to watch it. Haven't seen any trailers or anything for it. So, my big focus is Andor. Andor is the next big thing that I'm waiting for because I really fucking loved Andor season 1. RJ, this is bugged, Ranger. At the start of the turn tanks. Yeah, we talked about this last night on Scribe Strain. Yeah, they can't die. It's a giant bug. The tank cron is jacked up right now. Hey, baby Yoda eyes, they're watching you. So I think it will be more kid focused. I'm going in with a Goonies-esque explanation. That's what they kind of said. So yeah. I did get 112, yeah. And the rest were Swevens. I got 2 5s, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting there with the 12, 12, 330. The difference, really, if you think about it. Yeah, I didn't even know that bug was a thing. I mean, I knew that was going to be a strong cron for certain teams. I didn't think it was going to be that broken. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know how CG can have this cron existing right now and having people lose crystals because of it. And You just can't have this stuff happening in GAC. GAC is tough enough with all the different datacrons, especially this ridiculous set with 22 characters and just ridiculous ass amounts of different abilities and stuff at the level 3 and 6 that you're trying to go for. Um, it's a mess. It's a jumbled mess. Yeah. And yeah. What about Darth Crate there, Kazakagi? I love me some Darth Crate. Oh, finally! There he is, me fine boy, old James. People have been asking about you there, fella. He says, what happened? Skull indeed there, James. Hadn't seen you in a bit. We were just wondering what had happened to you. We were just a little bit worried about you. Good to see you there, laddie, and them beautiful babies. That's right. If you say his name 3 times, he'll appear. Because I'm not gonna lie, there's nothing in the Star Wars show pipeline I'm excited for. Exactly, was my last hope, really. Come join me for Andor. I loved Andor season 1. Of course, Rogue One's my favorite Star Wars movie, but yeah. Well, you missed out, Linky. Some of the best Star Wars was, man, oh man. The best speeches I have ever heard, moments, is in that show. Well, 3 really, if you think about it. CJ didn't do anything now. There's just one of the crons is broken with the tank level 6 ability. You just can't kill them. They keep getting protection all the way back. It's a big styling heap of poo poo diarrhea there, James. Yeah, Linky, I'll watch it with you because I know what's going to come down the pipe. We watch Andor together. I actually always do that for the shows. It's crazy. I always, once the shows of every Star Wars show, animated, whatnot, that has come out, I've gone on a weekend where I go in Discord because I have Disney Plus. I know some of you don't have it or don't have access to it. And I would play the entire show. I would stream it in Discord. All you had to do was to sit there and watch. It was an all-day event. I am not doing that for the Acolyte. That's how much I despise this show. I do not associate me with the Ewoks there, Kazakagi. We all know that I am the Mandalorian in Darth Revan. But yeah, do not. Now, if you're curious, you want to make your own mind up, which I encourage critical thinking here, and you want to make up your own mind with the Acolyte, go watch it. And if you like it, that makes me happy. If you found something in Star Wars that you like, great. I won't understand it because the writing and, in my opinion, and production and direction in this show is just awful. Awful. I think a bunch of third graders wrote this. That's how bad I think the writing and stuff is. The story does not make sense. The character motivations do not make sense. It's really just awful. The worst Star Wars I've ever seen. You didn't like Sexy Time with the Sith there, Linky? I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, I don't. I thought those were fantastic, man. The prison stuff for me works, but you know what? That's subjective. It didn't work for you, Linky. That's okay. That's okay. Why is the shoey thing happening in places? Why is that's Stream Elements? I was supposed to say, who's linking that crap? I mean, if you want to see me do more than shoey, fine, but I'm not going out of my way to do that. But I guess Stream Elements decided to work and shit. We did a few shoeys last night. If you do, you know the deal. If you want to see me do shoey, especially a morning shoey, go clink clink in the tip jar and do it. But yeah. Yeah, we James, the datacron for the tankron is busted right now, and it's pretty bad. Very bad. Not good. Yeah, get your questions in. Just make sure you put the word question for any extra question, comment, or statement. If you haven't given your greetings, get that in. Say hello to me, say hello to all the other skewers. Yes, delicious. And we'll rock and roll. Oh goodness. Threes, man. What can I tell you? Oh, what can I tell you? 3v3. Yes. Oh. You have my undivided attention. I'll be chilling out today. I'll tell you that much. I'm gonna tell you that much right now. It's a day of rest for old Ranger. Do a little laundry. I'm gonna be chilling. Watch a little sports ball. But definitely watch them, man. Got a few guys to catch. Ranger, which one is the worst Star Wars of all time, the sequels or the Acolyte? Acolyte? Are you kidding me? Acolyte. The Acolyte makes the sequels look like goddamn Shakespeare, man. You can hate on the, and I understand the hate on the sequels and why. But it ain't, the Acolyte takes the cake, man, by leaps and bounds in ways that just, good God. It's God. I actually liked the characters of Finn and Rey and Poe in the beginning, and I thought there was some good stuff in the sequels. Not very good much stuff in the Acolyte. And to me, what the Acolyte has done to lore, things of that nature, God. But you can say the same thing about the sequels. I guess it's a certain point of view, which one you think. I personally think that the Acolyte is worse than God. Oh, the show, man. And you know what sucks is, I've been saying this all week, is I don't want the Acolyte to suck. I want good Star Wars. Oh, James, how much time do you got, brother? I'm not going to go into it right now, but let's just say horrible, horrible, many horrible things. There was some, you might consider that What Else 73, but it's pretty bad. Yeah, pretty much. All right. So they introduced Darth Plagueis just for a 3-second cameo, but he is in the lore, which don't get me started on that. But that's one. The thing too is the cover up that Master Renestra does, which does not make sense. Basically what they've done in the Acolyte is they made the Jedi seem like the bad guys and the Sith the good guys, which is totally ridiculous. Now they've brought poor Yoda as a part of it, because the last shot of the show is her going to Yoda saying, "Master, I have to tell you something," which means he knows before episode 1 that the Sith, there's a thing going on with the Sith, and they want you to believe the Jedi are corrupt in a way that it's just, the Jedi were never corrupt. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Jedi are fallible, but and it just doesn't make sense. It's the shit that doesn't make sense. So the whole thing about what started the show is that May and Osha, May is killing Jedi. They sent Saul because, to find his former Padawan, finds out that the twins, he starts his whole journey. The first two Jedi deaths, for a fact, could not have been Saul. I'm just giving you an example of how bad this show is. And before the big fight on the planet where all the other Jedi die, and there was like 9 of them that get slaughtered, right? Including Jackie and Lord, two of the main characters. Vanessa wants the Senate to believe that it was all Saul. And I'm not going to get into the reasons why, but that it's Saul. Even though the first 2 deaths had nothing to do with him whatsoever. Nothing to do. But he was the one that did it. And then on top of that, Keanu Mundi was introduced, knowing that there's a dark force-wielding assassin whammon out there killing Jedi, was there for the briefing and knows what's going on. And he was there when Saul was talking about it. So how the hell does that work? That's what you want us to believe. I mean, this is just one point of the plot that just makes you just go, what in the hell am I watching? What is my issue with Plagueis being introduced? Because it just shows Plagueis as it just brings him in for 3 seconds. The thing too that also bothers me is with Plagueis, okay? What they want you to do with the lore is that Plagueis in the legends and the lore, however you want to say it, you hear Palpatine talk about it in, the operatic scene. Darth Plagueis the Wise was a Sith Lord who was so powerful. Now, the legend book, it's not canon because Disney decided to do this. The reason Plagueis did not create Anakin. Anakin is the versions of the Force because of what Plagueis and the culmination of 1,000 years of the Sith came through with his research, and what he had come up with is that he could control the midichlorians to use the dark side to create life. What that did is the Force itself, the living force, right? There's the cosmic force and the living force, right? This is established. Rejected that and created Anakin to bring balance to the Force, right? Virgins are not like some willy-nilly thing. But what the show is trying to tell you then is, and this has been in interviews, is that Plagueis gets the idea, because Anakin is no longer special. Anakin was not, the virgin birth and the Force birthing him. Hold on, we got these two twins over here that there was a virgin's. They never say how they were created. They just were created. They don't go into any of that detail. But now that all that stuff that Darth Plagueis, the wise, he's really not that wise. He found out about this, and then it's like, okay, that starts him on his journey. What? And then on top of that, he's sitting there watching. This is kind of how it works. There's the rule of two in Plagueis. Just to give you another example, Plagueis, you have the master and the apprentice. The master that has the power, and then trains an apprentice who craves the power. One, the Sith in any circumstances would not reveal themselves with the rule of two. Okay, and so the stranger, we don't know what his name is. They never give his full Darth, Lord of the Sith name. But they show a scene where he's been there the whole time watching his apprentice training and recruiting an apprentice. Plagueis would kill her in a moment if he knew. Usually what you do as the apprentice is you have a secret apprentice. You recruit them, you have them in the back. That's part of, your growth is to, the master doesn't see it coming. That's just the way it works with the Sith and stuff. Now Plagueis had 7 apprentices because he had them all fighting for different things, and he eventually went with Palpatine. But if any of those knuckleheads have been trying to do anything with an apprentice, he should die, because then he's allowed his apprentice to acquire a powerful apprentice to take them down. It's just all kinds of shit like that. He could be Darth Venomous, but they never gave his name, so I don't want to say he's Darth Venomous. I totally get it. But, I mean, that's just... So the Jedi... No, the Sith are there. Yoda knows the Sith are there. Ham's... Because it is a Sith. Leslie Ham said that they are Sith, and Plagueis definitely confirms that these are Sith. This isn't a Force user or Kylo Ren and all the other speculation. That when Cam says, impossible, the Sith have been extinct for 1,000 generations. And then May says, I do not think the Sith would have returned without us knowing. Well, apparently you knew 100 and something years ago, because all this shit happens. And I'll give you another example. When the stranger kills all those Jedis, just to give you an example of how the rule of two works. When Palpatine had Maul first starting out, he was like, listen, you have to kill folks, and I'll tell you when to kill them, but if you show your lightsaber, I'll don't do it. Don't show your lightsaber. We don't want anything showing that the Jedi that we're around. And Maul did it in an act where he was in desperation mode because he got in a situation. When he came back, Sidious basically looked at him and said, if you ever do that again, after he kind of went at him a little bit, I'll kill you. I'll kill you straight up. That's the way the Sith are. They do not want... I don't know. He was just there to be there. But what it does is it completely breaks the lore. Like, well, then Cam knew. Because Cam's not stupid. I mean, he was a general and all this great Jedi Master. It just shits all over the timeline and lore and stuff. And it's just like that, it's like, well, so Cam knows about this circumstance, and he's going to go along with Vanestra covering it up. You don't think Cam's going to ask some questions like, what happened? Because he was there with Saul in the meeting. He knows Saul. Everybody knows Saul. You want me to be convinced that the Jedi are like, You know, the guy that's training all our young Padawans and all this great stuff seemed like, and just a decent human being in Jedi, was evil the whole time and went crazy. It's such trash. I mean, it's bad enough that we were sold a bill of goods with this show that this was going to be about the Sith. You know, and I, even when the Acolyte trailer came out, I was defending it because I was like, let's go. Let's see what they're going to do. I want to see, you know, the point of view of Star Wars from the Sith. We've never really had it. We've had villains that are Sith, but we've never really got that machination, the stuff that you've read in the Bane novels and other stuff like that. Like, all right, let's go. I'm in, right? Even after the first 2 episodes, I'm like, okay, we're the Sith. They're going to come. Nothing. It didn't get to nothing. Insane. And the Sith are one of my favorite kind of stories throughout the history and the lore of Star Wars. I just find them just so interesting and fascinating. The Jedi too, but I think the Mandalorians and the Sith, the characters and their ethos, the way they operate, their history, why are they where they are at, you know, all this stuff. It's just really, it's really interesting to read characters, and I think you get some very incredible characters from that. But they didn't even broach this subject. It's all about the twins and cult of the witches and just all this crazy stuff. And again, I can just keep going down the line of stuff that they did. I'm just like, what are you talking about, man? Not only does that break lore that's established, and I'm not talking Legends lore, I'm talking lore, canon lore, the first 6 movies. Gone. It's just really strange, you know? It's really, really odd, and I don't understand. Well, I understand it to an extent, but it's like, I know why you did it, but you shouldn't have done it. Just because you can do something doesn't mean necessarily you should do something. Just really, really, and it just, again, and when you tie that in with just the ridiculous writing of character motivations that just do not make sense and understanding of things, that just like, well, wait a minute, that does not make sense. What the hell? Where did that come from? You know, it happens all over the show where this is the only Star Wars show I have ever done this where something happened in the show where I just hit the button and said, and Paul's going, what the F? What the, double take, like, what in the hell is this? What do you mean? You know, I literally stood up. I was like, what the hell? And it wasn't the last time either. So, yeah, just a really poorly written show. It's bad. $200 million for this. Bad. Really bad. It doesn't make sense. The characters flip motivations. They don't explain shit. That just, God almighty. And apparently in Acolyte, hyperdrive jumping takes 20 minutes, not days like it normally does in Star Wars throughout all the shows. Yeah. So I don't understand. I did not, Mr. Micah. I won my GAC last night. And yes, yeah, after last week, Mr. Micah, and welcome. Saw Mr. Micah last night on the Scribble stream. I remember you. Yes. Welcome to the show. This is Jedi Academy. It's a slow Saturday. Usually I have content creators on and stuff, but I'm just chilling with you guys, answering your questions and things. Got into the Acolyte again. But yeah, it's just down the line, man. And now, as I said, if you love the Acolyte, love the Acolyte. But I can't. And I can't in good conscience. Just, I'm not going to not talk about it. So quick question. What Jedi are the best for challenge tier 2 of the assault battle? Challenge. Oh, you talk about ground war today? I'm trying to remember what I used for this one. Hold on. My brain's not working. There's two possible. I don't know. No, it was bad, Micah. But if you think it wasn't bad, that's fine. But no, it's trash. It's straight up, it's trash. It's trash. Trash writing, trash directing, trash producing. I think if you have JMK or GML, you can use those teams, right? In combination of the normal teams. If you do not have those two GLs, I think Jedi Luke lead works really well. I'm pretty sure back in the day we did that. Someone in chat hold me correct. I've been simming this battle for a long time, Mr. Micah. So I'm not sure. It ain't Ewoks, I'll tell you that much. I guess they're Ewok. I never ran it with the Ewoks. I guess it's possible you have them high relic, but someone that maybe that did that with the Ewoks, I didn't. I was straight up Jedi. And I'm pretty sure I don't remember if I beat it with Jedi Luke lead back in the day. I know for sure I've gone back in and I beat it with JML and JMK. You have one of those two teams, but try Jedi Luke lead. If anybody, keep me honest there, folks, in chat, because it's been a hot minute, years since I've done the actual fight. Thank you. I did get it right. Thank you, Bubby Yoda Eyes. He says Jedi Luke lead was the way to originally go. Thank you. It's Jedi and Ugnaughts. Yes. two Ugnaughts, one cup. Yes. That was so funny last night. Linky's saying over on YouTube there, Mr. Micah says, Jedi Luke lead, GMY, JML, Janet Revan, something else. I don't know if it was JML, but like say they didn't have JML. I'm trying to remember who was no Grandmaster Yoda, Janet Revan, Janet Luke. I can't remember the other two, but yeah, something like that. No cuts for the Jedi, yeah. Hey, I remembered something. Huh? Hot diggity damn. That's a good question, Mr. Mike. I haven't thought about that team in Salt Battles in years. Because usually I just go in and I'm like, you lose track because I haven't done the actual fight in so long. I just sim everything. As soon as you said that, I'm like, oh brain matter. We got to work. We got a question. Yeah. What were the odds on that? 2-1, I forget. No. Usually 95% of the stuff I remember correctly, but I'll remember stuff, but like I couldn't remember Het, the Tuscan, and I knew he had a green and yellow lightsaber. I knew he was a Tuscan. I just couldn't remember his name. Sometimes you get brain fart moments, you know? It's there. You can describe the person or things, and you know, like, oh, God, what's his name? And then you just like, you know, that's why you ask for help. You say, hey, help. Yeah, and that's a good point too from Linky there, Mr. Micah. That team will work with Jedi Luke in tier 3 as well. If I hadn't been in my normal mode there, Mr. Micah, in the morning where I would get up, drink some coffee, hit sim, I would have saved it and done the fight for you. Would have been a little different because my Jedi, of course, are all really high relics, so but you could have seen the battle at least. I do that a lot for people if they come back and ask me if it's available. Like I recently did the gas event and it was explaining to people like, you know, modding against stuff. Even though I got videos out on all this stuff, sometimes people want to see the fight. I actually had someone a month ago ask me to see the SLKR 2131 fight, you know, the dodge parry crap. Like just 2131. And I did the fight for him. It was painful, but I did it, you know. So sometimes you have to. Pretty high, yeah. I mean, anything for these assault battles, you're like 7 or higher with a lot of your Jedi, you're going to be pretty well. Because like right now, like Cam's 8, Yoda's 8, you know, just go down the line, you know, Luke's 8, you know, it's like Jesus Christ. 8 will do fine. Yes, thank you. Yes. I'm not putting any more relic 9s until we got to save one for Snips, but I got to see what's going to be needed for Balin, and I got to see. I've got 4 9s waiting, so I got one for Snips, and so I'm waiting to see what other relic 9s we're going to get for this GL Ahsoka, and also anything required for Balin. I don't think you'll get any relic 9s. Then again, he could. So you know, Right now, my big thing is I've got plenty of impulse detectors and Relic 9 pieces. I'm completely out of goddamn Zimbittles and electrum conductors, so I'm farming the shit out of those. And you don't realize how many of those you go through as quickly as you do, and you're like, God damn. Ren2G, you know me, says, hi, Ranger Crew. Last night's stream was Scribe was awesome. Thank you very much, Ren2G. And I saw your comment on the video. Appreciate it. Anybody who leaves a comment, Lord Megatron does it all the time, so appreciate the comment, my friend. Thank you. I blew whiskey away last night. I was like, I know who you are. You left a comment about my name about 2 months ago. I was like, I can't believe you remember that. I'm like, I remember you, Mr. Hoarder. Good dude, that guy. Just doesn't like the name. Says, I like you. I just don't like the name. It's like, well, what do you want me to do? I've had the name for this long. So, you know. Anyone have a totally harder time with the race second, third time around? That could be the case, Robbie. I had the same kind of RNG. It took me 2 to 3 fights on average to get the score I was looking for. And that was our Relic 9 3-man team with Queen Amidala for the 3.6. Also, well, not the Gungans. I'm pretty sure we scored 2.7 first try with the Gungan. But I think it took me 3 or 4 times with Maul, the 3-man team for that. So yeah. And that happens sometimes. Like I noticed that, like I was doing this happens in the raid just because it's RNG and you just get a cycle of bad RNG. I think this happened in the Crate Dragon raid, and it also happened. I noticed this with the Endor raid last time. You're doing good, and then you go through these cycles of the raids where you're kind of cruising, right? And then all of a sudden something happens, you're like, wait a minute, why can't I finish this off? I'm at the last moment. Why am I getting such shit RNG? What changed? You don't know what's changed, but you just know that it takes you multiple times, and I don't know why that is, or they changed a number or something without saying anything. They don't communicate that stuff well enough, so I totally could understand if that's what's happening. Linky says, I hope to have a Relic 9 in each set of requirements for GL so just to watch me have a meltdown. Like if they had 2 Relic 9s, I wouldn't be that upset about it, but we start getting to 3 or 4 and we'd be like, well, okay. That's a little excessive and not good. It's like, wait a minute. Okay, hold on to your potatoes, Mr. Dr. Jones. This is getting a little out of hand. I don't see Balin getting a Relic 9. Like it Harvey Weinstein. That's right, because she was a personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, he just comes in for 5 seconds. He's like, he comes around the corner. I swear he's like some creepy old man. Evil. Like, I mean, I'm glad he's officially canon. You know, we get the live action version, but this is not the story and or plot and or way I wanted him introduced. You know? God almighty. What if he sound like Voldemort? Oh, my young apprentice. It's like, that voice is creepy enough. I don't need to hear it from you, Darth Plagueis. Get out of here. Go get a throat lozenge. Me and my guild getting the same score as Andor. Yeah, I didn't. You meant Andor for the raid. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really like the change of the rewards and everything they did with that, but you know, we adjust. We'll complain about it. Say that's jacked up. Say CG don't do that. Give our thoughts, whether they listen or not. Who knows? But yeah. Would Voldemort's voice be worse or Pee Wee Herman's? I don't know. Okay, imagine Plagueis coming around with his hand comes out and he goes, it's like, I think Voldemort would fit a little bit better than Pee Wee. Are you going to search for Harry Potter? Oh God, such a letdown. Like I'm not even. I think the only thing that I will get from the Acolyte for my collection, you can see behind me, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's not here. I have to really rethink I've gotten so much new stuff from you guys. Redo my entire background, which we'll eventually get to. But other than the Stranger and Saul, I could give a shit less about anybody else in that show. Saul and the guy who did Saul did a phenomenal job with what he was given, and I think Manny Jacinto, who played the stranger, he was really good too. Again, working with what he got. I think they're both really phenomenal actors. And I think they'll be fine. But the oh my God, I guess looks like Donald Duck. Actually, they did a pretty decent job of him. He looked like, if you look at the cover art from the book, Brittany, of Darth Plagueis, he looked a lot like that. And that part I can respect. It's like, okay, you actually took the time to make him look like Plagueis from all the art and stuff. I thought he looked good. But again, moments. Yeah, he looks great. You wasted him, and now the lore of what he accomplished is completely destroyed, and it's like, $200 million. $200 million for this show. Yep. I'm being kind on the amount of money that they've spent. That's what they just spent to make it. I've heard reports of the amount of money they've lost is, oh, it must be nice to have that kind of money, man. If I had $1 million, I'd be hoarding that shit like crazy. I'd be investing in it. I was just like, my precious. They're like, $200 million. Felix, what's going on? Says question. Hey Ranger, hey Batty. Says, why do you think they made the cap for credits twice higher and let us get lots of credits in the Duel of the Fates event? Level 90 incoming sounds crazy. I saw the video that Anna did on this. It's possible. I just don't know yet. Something's coming around the corner. I don't think it's going to come out until after the raid gets really, really going, until after the GLs comes out. Because I don't think the earliest would be this holiday season, like November, December time frame. I saw his arguments about the credits increasing and stuff, but you also have to remember they're also introducing more characters and stuff like that. It takes a lot of credits to take these characters up to get them to 85, right? Is it possible? Sure. Do I think they're doing it anytime soon? I might, if I had to put money on, I would say there's less likely that that's going to happen. So yeah. Oh, Godzilla -1 is great. Brittany, you talking my language there, Brittany. I could see 7 mods coming. Yeah. Yeah, those need credits too. So there could be a reason why. It could just be they're introducing more characters. It takes a lot more money to, overall hoard and then spend to get the characters to 85 and stuff like that. They did introduce a lot of packs and things of that nature to fast track certain characters. So I could see that being part of it, but I could also see part of the equation. Level 90 could be around the corner. I don't think anytime soon, but is definitely on the board. Baby Yoda Eye says only $10 million less than it cost to make Dune 2. I know, Dune is so good. They did such a great job. And I'm a big fan of the original Dune. And the books, and I thought, yeah, damn, they did a really good job with this. That was really fantastic. It's just fantastic. I loved it. What else? 3 question: how much longer before the next set of Ahsoka requirements hit? It seems like they're on a 2-week cycle here. We got the initial with the road ahead Night Trooper, and then 2 weeks go by, we get the puzzle, and then it's Elsbeth, and then we get Elsbeth this week. So next week will be slow, and then the end of next week we'll maybe get another puzzle, because Crumb is a puzzle monster, and then see if we get another character. So yeah, I'm with you there, Brittany. Which is crazy because Death Note's one of my favorite animes. Kristen Fence as well. You have been watching too much Star Wars Theory. You should watch some Star Wars Explained to get more level-headed reviews. I have watched Star Wars Explained. I've watched all the different ones. I've watched Necrotic. I've watched tons of stuff to just get people's opinion. I've even watched what's her name? Randolph. Yeah. So, but I agree with him. I'm 1,000% agree with him. I listen to other people. I form my own opinion on stuff. I form my own opinion on stuff, and then but it's the same thought process that we're all having the same thoughts. You know, um, it just it's really sad. I'm you know I've watched all those guys. Some of the points and stuff they make, I may not agree with, but the overall sense of just how bad the Acolyte is, I agree with. But if you like the show, Preston, as I said, I'm happy for you. Absolutely. I just it makes me happy when anybody finds anything Star Wars that they like, But like I liked Ahsoka, I did. Grace Randolph, thank you. But yeah, I mean, I really liked Ahsoka. I know a lot of people didn't, but I really did. You know, not a big fan of Book of Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan was, but Star Wars goes up in cycles for me. I mean, I watch it and then I make my own mind. I adored Mandalorian. I love Andor. Excited for Andor season 2. I don't know what to make of Skeleton Crew, but I'll go in open-minded because it's got some decent actors in it, and I'm excited for it. So, you know, but yeah. But I mean, Star Wars Theory makes great points. He expresses it better than I do. What he's thinking about this stuff, and I'm just like, God damn it, Theory. Um, I don't watch a lot of Theory, but around the Acolyte, it's like, am I losing my goddamn mind of how bad I think this is? Because I really was hating it, especially after episode 3. 1 and 2, my initial review on it was like, okay, it's building. Let's see what happens. Some of this doesn't make a little bit of sense, but we need more information, right? Then episode 3 happened. I'm like, uh-oh, this is bad. Episode 4 was really bad. For some of the most in there. They don't explain stuff, Creston. I don't need the full story. They don't explain shit in this show. People make decisions and they just do stuff and you're just like, well, here's the problem with that, Creston, is that Cam is there. Now, his birth and everything, it's not the thing, but Cam is there in the meeting with Saul. Okay? When they're discussing this assassin trained by a force user. Again, it goes against the whole. You don't know either, Crescent, because they don't explain anything. They don't. Cam is there. And they never explain this. There's a lot of stuff they don't explain in this. Okay? People do stuff and they get no idea why the hell they're doing. It's crazy. Cam is there for the initial meeting. Knows that there's an assassin, that there's a force wielder that's killing people. Just keep that in mind. She's already killed 2 at this point, Jedi, not Saul. But Cam's there with Vanessa and everything else. I don't know, but you would think the reports of, something along the lines. Now, unfortunately, Saul, who got shit on, who did nothing wrong, they make the Jedi just seem incompetent. They make them seem stupid. They just, oh my God, it's so bad. But yeah, I don't know. Red lightsaber kind of is a big deal, and just the history who used it. Fallen Jedi, Dark Jedi, and Sith. At least it's a Dark Jedi. But Cam knows what's going on in the initial parts. And then Vanessa comes back and says, by the way, Saul, killed all of these folks. And I'm just like, well, wait, those Jedi that were with Cam were there when you first had the reports and stuff. What do you mean Saul killed everybody? And do you really think to tell me the Jedi who are fallible? They make mistakes. They fall down. They make poor choices. But the Jedi, for what they stand for, and the way they go about things, that they would do that? And that Cam and them are saying, well, wait a minute, we saw that this was the assassin that killed these other two Jedi. Now you're saying Saul did this when we know for a fact it just doesn't make sense, man. It's like, wait a minute, I'm looking at this going, well, those Cam and other Jedi on the council below the council are sitting there watching this report and seeing, and they know so goes with all the other Jedi. And then Vanessa's going to say it was Saul who killed everybody. It was Saul the whole time. I'm just wondering, like Cam and those other Jedi going, wait, Vanessa, did you say Saul killed everybody? Did you say that? Huh? I mean, it's just that, I mean, and May, my God, in fucking heaven, that scene in episode 4 where that woman is walking, her whole life has been about revenge. She's already taken out 2 Jedi. Again, I'm giving another point of how bad this show is. No context, no talking about it, everything like that. She's on her way to kill the Wookiee Kelnaka, and just on a dime. And I mean a dime. This is one of those moments that made me stop the show and go, what the F just happened? Where she goes, I've decided to change my mind. I'm going to turn myself into Jedi, and I'm going to tell them all about my... But it's like, but you've already killed the... Okay, where did this come from? Because you just met your sister? That's just like, oh, what? And then when she gets into they get there and the whole thing happens, when the Jedi when Jecki tries to arrest her, she tries to kill her. What? Horrible. On a dime. I'm evil. I've killed 2 Jedi, but I'll turn myself in. The Jedi will understand because I can tell them who the Sith Lord is. Really? You didn't think first degree murder is okay? Oh God! Can't make this shit up. Oh, and as good as Manny Jacinto's performance was in this as the Stranger, and I liked his performance. I thought he actually makes a really good Sith. He's not good. They try to portray him. I want freedom. Yes, freedom to use the dark side, because you slaughtered a bunch of people. You killed 10 people that we know of. So bad, man. It's so bad, dude. It's just the writing does not make sense. I think that what they should have done, because they introduced that senator in episode 8, who's a hell of an actor, and I can't remember his name. It would have made a little bit stuff. If they had him in the beginning, having conversations with Vanessa Wright to show that dynamic that the Senate is putting pressure on the Jedi, and kind of gone into that and covered that a little bit more and everything else. But I mean, Vanessa, man, she is evil, man. She is evil. She's more evil in what she does than I mean, didn't kill anyone, but my God, she's on the same level as those guys, man. That is some Sith crap right there. Really, really bad. Holy God. I wouldn't go to war with her. Holy God. Good God in heaven. Vanessa is evil. That is so, I mean, they did Saul dirty, man. And he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't. He felt guilt over what had happened. But Jesus Christ. And the other Jedi, apparently, who did nothing wrong either, felt so guilty about it, he drank poison and killed himself. Again, does not make sense. Again, the Acolyte, man, it's so bad. I like Saul as a character. I think they did him dirty, really bad. I think Manny Jacinto makes a really good Sith. And I think the fight choreography in the Acolyte is fantastic. I think it was really good. Some of the best lightsaber fighting I've seen. I would say the fight choreography throughout the show is actually really good. But their moments, man, it's like, good God in heaven, man, it's just got to make sense. It's got to have that emotional backing to it. It doesn't have this shit. It drives me up the wall. Stop trying to make sense of this as Sylvie. This is only understood by those as. Well, I'm sure it is, but it's like. I know. The mother took over Padawan's mind after saying no violence. If that wasn't violence, yeah, that's a big violation of violence. Yeah, I mean, this this makes sense. It just doesn't. No, if I guess I said, Creston, if you enjoy it, hey, go for it, brother. And I'm not going to tell you not to enjoy it. And if you the things that maybe don't work for me maybe work for you, I respect that. I totally do. I totally get it. We like the Star Wars that we like, but again, this is my thoughts on it. It does, but it doesn't seem like a very Jedi thing to do, man. I mean, the Jedi are many things, but Jesus Christ. I mean, the Jedi. I was watching a video on George Lucas. What was it? I've watched a few things about him, like the making of Phantom Menace and all this other stuff. There's lots of stuff out there. Um, in a sense, and I've kind of accepted the way, and even in the Legends books, right? The Jedi are not fallible; they make mistakes, right? They 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 fall to the dark side and things of that nature. They're not perfect beings, but their whole purpose is the Jedi are selfless. They live a life of serving others, right? The Sith are the opposite. They're selfish. They crave power. They want stuff, and they are fearful of losing that stuff because they want more, and then they want more. And the Jedi are not interested in that. They're more of being selfless and things like that. Now, the real reason the Jedi fall is because they get too dogmatic. They get, in my opinion, they become too passive to the needs. Right? And you see this before the whole saga of Revan. Right? The Mandalorians are coming in and during that time and genociding planets, and the Jedi did not want to get involved because they didn't view themselves as warriors. So I was like, no, we have power. Again, the old saying, great power comes great responsibility. But again, uh, so I think the Jedi just, again, selfless, selfish, right? The Sith are evil. They are evil in a way that cannot be undermined. So yeah, I know, Sylvie, but I just think it's a missed opportunity, and I think you should explore that in a Star Wars show. I think showing the motivations of the Sith and why they do the things they do, the scheming, the manipulation, right, the things that they go about for acquiring more power and control and domination. These are things that Sith do, right? I did like a little bit of the way that Pamir uh, was seducing Osha, right? Because that shows you a little bit, just a little bit. I wanted way more, but we only got a little bit about how they go about tricking you and using their mind. It's like Plagueis with Anakin in the operatic scene. They work that mind, they work that stuff on you, right? So yeah. So yeah. Again, uh I just shit in the show did not make sense at all. And I don't know. But if it works for you, I'm happy for you. And I want you to you can defend it all you want. I'm okay with you to defend it. Again, as I said, I hate episode two. Episode two of the prequels, I can't stand. Of course, it's weird because Revenge of the Sith is one of my favorite, but I didn't like episode two. That's just because of the acting and everything else that's in there. But Calvin Austin loves episode two, and I'm like, cool. We'll just agree to disagree. And we need an Ewok Jedi Tusken love interest by Fan Ranger. Oh god. Oh my god, that's horrible. But I think if you go to the heart of what Star Wars is, it's the confrontation of good and evil, right? The way it was originally structured. And I think that's people need heroes. Why is Luke popular? He's cool, but why is he popular? He's the everyday hero. We all relate to Luke. Why is Han the hero that he is? Because we relate to Han. I think we need to have characters like that, not for any other reason, right? Um, Luthien in Andor is one of my favorite heroes. He does bad things, but he's doing it because he has to, right? But he knows that the future is not for him. He's doing what he's doing because he's going to lose everything. The future is not for him to enjoy. The results of this would not be something that he gets to experience. His sacrifices will be what's there for others to enjoy. Those are the kind of characters that I relate to, so yeah. Jared Ferguson, that's funny. But yeah, I mean, again, you like the Star Wars that you like, and you like the Star Wars that you don't like, right? And that's okay. But yeah, if you ask me why I don't like the Acolyte, shit has to make sense to me. It just does, man. And that's the same complaints everybody has. Some people just express it better than others. Did I miss a comment? Sorry, the chat's been kind of flowing. As an introvert, I find there are a few people around me that I find worth putting pants on for. So how about an introvert become a Jedi if not already labeled a Sith? I have no idea. That would be an interesting one, a dark side Mandalorian. Again, there's lots. The concept of the acolyte, I get, and I think there's on the concept, it's very interesting, but the execution just falls short, unfortunately, and that matters. Details matter. People pick up. Fans. I mean, if you think fans are dumb, they're not. We pick up on this stuff, you know. And that's why it shows like The Boys and House of the Dragon. When I'm watching those, I'm like, oh, so good. Because they have this character development and the plots and everything, and I'm left just what's going to happen next, and that's interesting. And oh, I didn't see that coming. It keeps me engaged, but like just didn't do it. It's a shame. And I want good Star Wars. I really do. I don't want to be sitting here upset about this show. I want to move on from the Acolyte, but next week I'm just going to stop talking about it. Um, but I want, like, I hope Skeleton Crew is really good and that we can come in here. What I want to happen is to us go back to, our nerd comments. We argue the details and stuff, and it's more about what we think is going to happen, and we get into debates about, what like nerds do, man. I don't want to sit here and be saying all this crap, you know. So yeah. So if you have any SWGOH questions, get those in. We kind of went on their acolyte bandwagon again, but I mean it's in the ethos right now. It's hard not to avoid it. So yeah, crazy. And it really sucks because it splits Star Wars fans in a way that's like, I don't want to see that. Star Wars is something that we love, we share, we love to be nerds, we love to be together and dress up in our costumes and do the stuff that we do, and um that's what I want. I don't want shows dividing us like this. Conversations I want to have is like, who's the most powerful Sith ever? And then we have our debate and we get nerd out and we do all this stuff. So, but yeah, we need Ewoks with more Force powers. That would make Finn very, very happy. Brittany. Oh my God. You imagine? Oh God. It'd be nonstop. Darth Basil. The true Sith Lord of the Acolyte. That's right. Just like Jar Jar was the true Sith Lord. It wasn't Sidious. It was Jar Jar. Goofy. Yeah, Gerbil would love a Jedi Ewok. I'm sure he would. Yes. Good. Good. Um, there's always going to be the very small vocal minority, right? Um, they'll speak up. There's just assholes on both sides that just say stupid shit that just makes me go, "Oh, for God's sake, shut the f up." But I think like if you look at shows like House of the Dragon right now, I mean it's universally loved. Yeah, there's a small minority that may not like it, but man, that thing's doing gangbusters. Why? Because it's just good, you know. But I agree with your assessment, Rokaran, that when something is divisive, man, does it get divisive. And it gets divisive fast. And what I can't stand is, and I will not put up with this shit, is someone has a different opinion than you, fine. Be respectful they have a different opinion. You may not like the opinion. You don't have to like the opinion. And you can disagree. But the name calling and things that go along with it. Like if you can't make like me and Crest and Finn were just talking about it, but I'm not calling Creston names or anything. I just disagree with his assessment, and he disagrees with mine. But you don't again the name calling because when you start putting people down, you can't make a cohesive argument from your perspective and point. That's when you lose me. Like if the reason I respond to Kristen like I did is because he didn't sit there and say you're an ass clown and all this stuff. You know, that's the problem with fandom right now is that we get just too venomous with it. You know, and the name calling stuff, it's horrible. And I can't stand it. And if you do that with me, I just delete you. I just don't have time with it. If you are that angry and stupid, I just don't have anything to do with you. You know, putting labels on folks and stuff. It's like, God almighty. You don't want it's made up, it's entertainment. My God. We're not trying to liberate world peace. Yeah, you can again, you don't have to like someone's opinion. They don't have to like yours, but you gotta be respectful. You know, I don't call people names for that reason. Can't stand that shit. Guys look I like clowns. Very nice. There's some people that do not like clowns, Katsukage too easy. You watch yourself. I have the death sentence in 12 systems. And just be respectful, guys. The name calling's got to go. And the labels have got to go. Now you can label people when they say an opinion that's directly associated with that label, you know. But you know, other stuff. It's just to throw names out there. It's that's all right. I'm wrong all the time, Mr. Micah. Trust me. I had enough humility in my life to know that shit. But it's just my opinion. And you can go with it whatever. You can say whatever you like about it. You can say I'm wrong. You can say I'm stupid. You know, whatever. But it is how I think. So you ask me for my opinion on a show about opinions and fucking things, then I'm going to give it to you. So the way it works. But I think it's good dialogue to have. We're having a conversation about it, you know. So yeah, that's right. Which is really crazy because if you think about it, I've said this before in streams. Nerds are the most accepting group of people there are. We don't care about anything else. It's like, do you want to play D&D? I don't care about your sexuality, your sex, anything. It's like, do you want to play D&D? And then when we play, it's like, are you nice or are you not nice when we play the game? You know, that's all nerds care about. Keypad warriors, their LBC do not bother me because I know they don't have the hair on their ass to come to me and say that to me in real life. You know, so if you don't have the guts to threaten me in real life, then you want to be a keyboard warrior. That's fine. I'm just going to ignore you. You ignore stupid things like that. I don't respect people that do that. I can call myself stupid. I have brain fart moments. Yeah, but that's me debasing myself. I'm allowed to do that. Yeah, it's bullying and it's trash. And as I said, if you won't say it to somebody's face in real life, then yeah. But that anonymity gives you protection, so you feel like you can say more than you should. Again, it doesn't matter if you should say it or if you can't say it, it's if you should say it. Yeah, be respectful. Skywalker Vader says something very disrespectful. He used the name of names in the chat. Yes. Yes, I feel like we should. Yeah. Yes. Uh, live long and prosper, my fellow Canadian Vulcan friend. That's right there, eh? Up there with them other mushroom people in Nova Scotia with that good poutine, good Canadian whiskey, and bags of milk there, eh? Yeah, so it's not hard, guys. I said, let's be respectful, guys. And we'll all get along. We're here to talk about Star Wars and Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. If you have an opinion on something, cool. I'll listen to it. I might agree with it. I might disagree with it. So. Well, I mean, is it really name calling if it's accurate? There's shocking when the walls fell, right? Yeah. Well, I didn't. I was not in the mood for blue milk there last night, Mister. Nobody, G Dub, nobody. Yeah, having an intellectual conversation with our good friend Kristen. Uh, Disagree with me on my take on the Acolyte, and that's okay. Respect it. Hopefully, I made good points back. He probably disagrees with them, and that's okay. Yeah, and we only got Morgan Elsbeth this week, so we're working on it. So we're in the middle of 3v3 GAC. It's kind of a nightmare. The crons are broken with the tank stuff. And watching some of those fights last night, because I'll keep track of other content creators. Like, oh my god. I try not to disagree with Desi when I can, but I will let Nezzy if I think she's in a safe distance. I don't want to be kung fu fighted. We love having cordial and candid debates. That's right. We don't have to be disgusting to one another. All right, get your questions in. We'll go for a little bit while longer here for the Jedi Academy. Glad to have you here on a Saturday morning. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. Yeah, I like that stuff, Mr. Mike. Again, there's stuff in the Acolyte that I can say was good. As I mentioned, the lightsaber fights were really good, and the introduction of Cortosis was really neat. I'm a Lord guy, so when I saw that, I was like, because someone says, "How does that work?" I'm like, "Oh, did they introduce Cortosis? That's pretty wicked." LBC says, for the record, I never did agree with Desi. I think that's a good life policy there, LBC Rob. He is very powerful. And, yes. I thought the bleeding of the crystals too. I kind of like that that little, when you turn to the dark side, the bleeding of the crystal. I thought that was cool. Again, I could say there's stuff in the Acolyte that was like, that's pretty wicked. Not my problem with the Acolyte. Fight scene, fight choreography, lightsaber fights, fantastic. I mean, they did a really good job with that stuff. I thought so. But hey, I need more than a fight movie. I need some character stuff and plot and things to make sense. Desi says I'm not listening at the moment. Got a work call. That's all right, Desi. We're just telling everybody to agree that you're right all the time. Yeah, I thought that was cool in the Ahsoka book when she repurified her lightsabers that she did. I thought that was really neat. I kind of like that, right? Because when you put your lightsaber together, whether you're a Sith or a Jedi, it's a very intimate moment, right? Use the Force, you put it together. Um, it's a part of you. Your weapon is a part of you. How you use it's different, but it's still. I think that's a cool thing. If that's what Desi says, I'm not arguing with her. I mean, I will, but I really don't want to. That's all right. He can disagree. I thought they were good. I don't think they're at the prequel levels. I mean, no, but I liked the style that they went for. It was fine with me. The Huts Hangout's coming in with 11. We're getting rated. Hey, unlock S foils and assume attack position. We're getting rated by folks. Hut Cartel is coming in. Oh. Thank you for the raid. Welcome to the show, Jedi Academy. We answer all your Star Wars Galaxy Heroes questions right here on the show with your boy Ranger. Just me today. So yes, turd first thing. We're working in my metal shop, so I only hear every third word. It makes the conversation very interesting. Interpretation, I'm sure it does. Turd Ferguson. Ray Rock, what's going on? It says happy up Ranger, pickle flashes, Wookiee stroker, coffee drinkers, and taco eaters. Yes, I think that describes us very well. Did I see Star Wars interview with him? Who? Hey, Bones88, what's going on, man? Hope you're feeling better, brother. Yeah, there was some cool, like the Force Repulse. I thought was really cool. I like the Sith move where he's using his two sabers and attacking in three different directions. I thought it was really good. I like that. Yeah, I thought it was cool. Yeah. Again, you can. It's like with anything. There's stuff that you can like about the show, and hey, that was good. And there's other stuff you can go, nope. No, I have not seen that Darth Revan. Yeah, that would be interesting. I have much respect for Nick Gilliard. You guys don't know that's the guy that did all the fight choreography for the prequels. He did the Duel of the Fates. He did the one in episode 2, all the lightsaber fights, and then of course Revenge of the Sith, which is top of the charts for me for lightsaber. I have failed you, Anakin. I have failed you. I should have known the Jedi were taking over. Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil. From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Well, then you are lost. Yeah, I remember watching the making of those shows and seeing him with the when it was Liam Neeson and Obi-Wan and everybody working on that stuff. Then they would beat the lightsabers. They had to go and bend them back into place. It was really good. That's fine, Turd. Yeah, you know that's right. Top of my head, I don't think so. It's been a hot minute since I've read the book adaptation and stuff. Yeah, but then Lucas said, "Let's do this," and so they came up with something on the spot. The McDermott, Samuel Jackson fight. Yeah, I've seen those Baby Yoda eyes. I haven't really got into them. The deep fakes with Anakin and Qui Gon and Obi Wan and things of that nature. I think those are really good. I've watched one or two of them. It made me giggle. But I thought the in episode 3 the Sidious Mace fight was phenomenal. I thought it was really good. Yeah, we all are capable of evil, but we're also capable of really good acts. So it's the nature of being human. And that's the true nature of what the Jedi and the Sith represent. Again, we like what we like. We like what we don't like. That's a really good analogy there, Mr. Micah. You are wise beyond your years, my young Padawan. All right, get your questions in. We'll go for about another 10 minutes. Give you guys the only true gray Jedi were not even Jedi. I mean, we use the term gray Jedi, Mr. Micah, but really, if you look back in the legends and lore, the Jedi with Bendo were true gray Jedi because they believed that you had to have both the light and the dark in balance to be true, a Jedi back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So the only one that really came up to that level, of course, the Bendo and Rebels was of course he was named because he has balance, right, and his philosophy of the Force and things. But Revan was also one of those characters after the entire plot of the stories before he goes for Vitiate had balanced that out between the light and the dark. That's what I thought we were going to get Turd Ferguson with Book of Boba Fett, but they didn't. So yeah. We have the ancient Jedi, and it's something that they've said in Star Wars that they would like to go back and do, and I think that would be a fantastic show. What Jedi should you put on for defense? Not many. It's interesting. I mean, we do have the Tank Datacron going on right now, Kazakagi. If you got the Queen on my team with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, that's one. I'm just looking at my three. I typically do not put Jedi on defense. I'll put certain Jedis and stuff. It's not like we had the last Datacron set, Kazakagi, where we had like, I had 2 3v3 teams of Jedi because of the Crons, but those are non-existent. Yeah. Question, with the backlash from the Acolyte, how do you think they will affect CG bringing those characters to the game, and if it affects it at all? I don't think it'll affect them bringing in the game. The characters are the characters. Some people like those characters, and I think I said I like Saul and I like the Stranger. But I mean, you bring the characters in from Legends and stuff, not based on the popularity, but what you need for the game. These are Star Wars characters, whether we want to say so or not. They are part of the canon, and doesn't matter for this game because the EA app needs to. Okay, I have to restart the EA app. Okay, well, that's sudden. Yeah, I can see them coming in next year sometime, maybe, and I would be okay with it. Again, not a big fan of the show. Like some of the characters more than others, but I wouldn't have any problem. It's Star Wars, man. And just because we don't like maybe some of these characters or the show and stuff doesn't mean that there's not people that are fans that wouldn't want to get those characters. And I'm not the biggest fan of the Gungans, but I wouldn't got the Gungans, so yeah. Yeah, I thought Manny Jacinto did a really good job. The Stranger. I would have liked to have way more of him and less of Ocean May. Like him and Plagueis, like as a duo with Saul and say Jackie, when this murder mystery kind of thing. I think that would have worked way better, but we didn't get that. So I can only comment on what we got. Listen, they could do something with the witches with that in the game, and I wouldn't have a problem with it because there are going to be some people that like that stuff. I don't, but they do, and that's okay. Yes, I like an actual story there. That's right. What else? 73. Yeah, I didn't. It just said it needed a reboot, so I rebooted it. All right. Call from a few more questions from anybody. Anything is on your mind. We're covering the gamut today. I've answered Star Wars questions, Acolyte questions, SWGOH questions. It's just one of them days. Even past today, I'm not going to talk about that. It's there, it's done. You make up your own mind. I encourage you to watch it. You make up your own mind about it, what you think about it. So yeah. I haven't had any crashes with the PC client, but when it says it needs to boot, I just reboot it. So yeah. Gotta still finish Conquest today. And we got TW today. Oh, I'm gonna be a little busy in the game today. I gotta finish up Sector 4 and Sector 3 and I'll be done. We got left in Sector 3. Wow, that'd be great. I'm gonna be going hard charging in today. Sector 2, what I got left? Not many, right? Yeah. Night Sisters, that kind of stuff. Three more feats and I'll be done. Get the red crate. Enjoy life. Good thing about TW is go in, do a couple battles, and then go do Conquest, and then meh. Right, say meh. I'm done. Say meh. All right, final call for questions, ladies and gentlemen of the homies and homettes of RSG Skewer Nation. If you have any questions about the game, anything like that, feel free. Again, we only had 2 rounds of 3v3. We know about the level 6 tank cron. We'll see what happens with that. So, yeah, 3 more pizzas. Yeah. Linky says, I read box and I'm so happy. I'm happy for you, Linky. I got one. I was a day or 2 behind because of the internet issue, and then beginning of last week, why this one? I'm usually done way beforehand, but between the internet and not having access to the game, and then focusing on all the Datacron stuff that I did, like I usually do for the first round of Datacrons, just to get a lot of them up and running. It's just simming and getting the rewards. I'll try to do fights when I can to coincide with that, but yeah. I left the Sector 4. I got one step surviving. I'm good. Mike says 3 more battles with Captain Rex surviving and 9 more with Qui-Gon Padawan to get an additional 30 Conquest wraps to unlock 4th crate. Nice. Yeah, and just get what crate you can. Every little bit matters. We're all in the same boat. Grinding away. We're grinding. We're doing it. We're grinding. Felix, my impression is it's helter skelter, man. This is a very schizophrenic set, and I'll tell you why. Because there's so many characters, and there's the tank one's messed up, but the tank one's still going to be an issue once they fix it. To operating the way it's supposed to be. It's a lot. It's overwhelming, right? I can see trying to figure out this set more than any, because usually with the last sets, and I thought they were getting in a good place where you're kind of locked into the level 3, what the level 6s could possibly be, and the level 9s, right? You've had an idea, and then you can prepare for that, even in 3s. But with this set, with the amount of characters and things that they've got, and just all over the place, it's really going to slow down 3v3. At higher levels. I mean, mid-tier levels, lower levels, you do see, I happen to see it could give you a headache for sure. But I mean, Scribe had 73 fights last night. So basically with the level 6, it revives them for 1 and 2. When they lose their protection, they get 100% protection, but it's not supposed to be over and over and over again. It's making tanks almost unkillable. Right. And when you have GLs like Leia and Luke that have that, and some other tanks that's just like you can't kill them, so yeah. I recorded an hour ago and got 5 more Datacrons for a total of 14. Yeah, I'm at I think 8 or 9 right now. 10. I'm at 10, I believe. So I'm gonna get a few more going. But I usually this first round of Conquest is just to get those initial big 9s on the board, and then the second set I'll pull a bunch of them, and then we're just looking forward to the level 3s and 6s. I'm not so much usually worried for the level 9s. Because once I get to certain level 9s, like I've got Iden and Night Trooper and other ones, but I still want to get a Wampa, Nast, and there's some other ones, right? I'm about to roll the one for either Visas or Bearish, which would be really nice. No, Kazakage, that will never be a thing. How dare you? How dare you, sir? No, I will not make a love story about that with Finn. No. Yeah, and it's going to be a lot of re-rolling and things of that nature, but you have to hit the tank one to get that one. So I've hit other ones that are not tank one related. So it's like, okay. But yeah, I'll get those ones, and I'm mainly going to concentrate on, the level 3 one buff for the light side or the dark side with the 5%, that kind of stuff. And then move on to more level 6s and that. Once you get the right, because you don't need every level 9 character for this set. That being said, they're going to be all over the board on who is on the team, and what it does, and you have to look at it because your counters will be dependent on what it Kazakage. I mean, if they paid me enough money, maybe. I think Solo, which I really like Solo. Thought it was good, not great, but good. I enjoyed it. Solo's problem was there was so much backlash because it came up, 5-6 months after the Last Jedi. There was a lot of backlash over that, and I also think the time where they dropped it didn't work either. I think it should have been another Christmas release. I don't know why they wanted to release then. It was like bad marketing and business 101, especially when you're competing with your own product during that time. So yeah, I actually like Solo. I thought it was good. That's it. Loved Rogue One. I love the Andor series, first 2 seasons of Mandalorian. I like the Ahsoka. Lukewarm on Kenobi and definitely the Mandalorian. I don't know what the hell the Acolyte was. So yeah, I thought Solo was good. I thought it was really interesting. I thought they did. It was directed by Ron Howard. Came in and I thought it was good. All right. I got 1 more minute, questions and stuff, and then we're going to end the stream. So if you have any final questions and stuff, get them in now. If not, I am going to end the stream. I hope you guys have an enjoyable Saturday. I guess we could rate somebody. Who do I want to rate here? Ooh, what's my ding ding dong? Loninder's doing it. JJ's doing it. Dop's doing it. No, he's doing The Last of Us. We can go hit up JJ. Let's see here. Yeah, goodness 3. We'll get you over to some GAC. I appreciate you guys all hanging out with me today. All your questions, comments, things of that nature. Thanks for hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff. Very much appreciated. Good day to you, Ren2G. All right. I don't see any other questions. So let me get you over there. Okay, I do final one. Kazakage, I bet it's this question. Don't you miss the term of style getting characters? No, I do not. Do not bring that back. Bad Kazakage. Bad. Love you too, LBC. Oh, I know LBC Rob is all fun. I didn't have a wrong with it. It was all good fun, man. Oh yeah, brother, we had a blast last night. You're welcome, Felix. Appreciate you hanging out. All right, let's go get this raid going over on Twitch. We're going to go raid JJ Productions. So I get this right. Highlight it for me. JJ Productions Twitch. Is that his actual name? We did it! I did it! Yay! I'm a big kid now. Micah, you will definitely one day be a good JSC player. You're probably a pretty decent one now, but I'm in training. You could be the best, buddy. Oh, you're going to watch the Slimy Sakai. All right. It's not bad. Not my favorite, but it's pretty good. Watched the first 5-6 seasons. I kind of lost interest in it, but I need to go back and finish that. So, yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy JJ and over on YouTube. Salute. Appreciate all you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be good to each other. Be safe. And we'll see you on Monday. Peace out.